Dominic, distinguished faculty, administrators, friends and family, and of course the graduating class of 2009. I wish to say hello, and I wish to say thank you for bestowing this honor upon me tonight to be your graduation commencement speaker. Now, for those of you who know me, you're aware that my good friend, Brother Dominic, had made a seriously grave error in asking me to speak to you tonight. But it's too late now, so let's just get on with it. As I mentioned, I am humbled by the privilege to sit at the table of a family of graduates and give this speech to our newest alumni. Having started back here in grade 6, the high testosterone all boys de La Salle of the 1970s, I always thought that the greatest thrill that a LaSallian student could ever experience was to actually meet girls from the girls' school down the road. Years later, when I was graciously invited to join the board of trustees and subsequently the board of directors of this college, I thought that would be the highlight of anyone's LaSallian experience, which is really amazing in light of the fact that we almost canceled our graduation due to a little spray paint incident at St. Mike's that I may or may not have had some involvement with, which I vehemently denied to this day. Then, when I was granted the privilege of speaking to you tonight, I thought that would be the highlight of the LaSallian experience. But now I stand here and I realize that, again, I'm envious of my older brother who's sitting here, who actually I think is experiencing the greatest thing a LaSallian student could have, and that is to actually watch your own daughter graduate from the school. And hopefully, in a few years, if my wife hasn't killed me by then, which will happen, I too will have that privilege. Now, despite our efforts to rig the ballots back in 1986, I was not chosen to give the valedictorian address at my graduation ceremony. At that time, I remember asking Norm Davies, I begged him, please let me give that speech. And God love him, Norm told me in no uncertain terms that I would be allowed to give the valedictorian speech on 2 criteria. First, that hell freezes over and they let girls in the school. And second, over his cold, dead body. So now that the girls are in the school, brother, maybe if you can call Norm just to make sure you feel okay. Allow me then, this indulgence, to read a portion of the speech that I had written for 1986, but was not allowed to give. Ladies and gentlemen, as we sit here today listening to that classic Duran Duran song that will definitely stand the test of time, allow me to make a few predictions about the next century. One day before the year 2000, I can see the Berlin Wall finally fall and crumble, uniting both East and West Berlin under the flag of communism. One day, I can see computers interconnected with one another worldwide, so enriching people that it does away with their need for idle chatter and pornography. And this may be my wildest prediction, that one day I can see the king of pop, Michael Jackson, actually marry Elvis's daughter. He will have kids, which will finally put an end to the rumors about his sexual orientation. Now, despite the joy of today, there's also sadness. You're leaving your home here at Dell. But let me reassure you, graduates, that you never really leave Dell, because the alumni office and the fundraising people will be on your ass for donations. And as you leave this campus and you enter the real world, realize this, that people will grow to hate you because you went to Del Salle. Get ready for a lifetime of you went to Dell. If you ever give wrong change in a transaction, you'll hear, you went to Dell. If the guy who's giving you a boost to your car, you ask him how to put the jumper cables on, you'll hear, you went to Dell. And if you forget just once to wear your underwear inside your pants, you went to Dell. So yes, by profession I am a lawyer, but that doesn't mean that I eat babies or steal from elderly people or infect people with disease. That's my professional life anyways. What it does mean is that I do have the benefit of helping people in various aspects of their lives, and I counsel my clients on which course of action may lead to their best result. What it also means is that people in our profession see and hear a lot of life's miseries and miscues and misturns, which inevitably cause them to pick up the phone and call the lawyer. And from that experience, I wish to give some advice to our graduates here tonight free of charge. First, money does not lead to happiness. I see my wife sitting there with this look of disgust on her face that those words actually came out of my mouth. Because you see, the biblical text outlines 7 deadly sins for each of us to try to avoid. And while devout people have told us all of our lives to fight these demons off of these 7 deadly sins, I've spent most of my adulthood trying to commit them. I've been pretty good at the sins of gluttony, and envy, and laziness, and I've violated that 2nd commandment of taking the Lord's name in vain a few too many times. But admittedly, that sin of greed was always forefront in my mind. However, after some years of experience, today, I can tell you that I've met and represented people who have more money than the Vatican Bank, whose lives are horribly miserable and screwed up. Some of these people that I've met have been suicidal. I've also had the privilege of meeting hardworking people who haven't 2 nickels to scrape together, and I was envious and appreciative of their true happiness and their disregard for material possessions. And what I've learned from all of that is this, that at the end of the day, however much money I'm blessed to have or not to have, I know that right now I stand here before you as the richest and luckiest person in the world because sitting in front of me are my wife and 2 daughters, and they make me a millionaire in every sense of the word. I am enjoying my life as an attorney, but I know that really it's a stepping stone to my next career goal in life as a game show host. After that, I'm looking forward to a career in televangelism. If only I can wear that white suit every day. And then finally, I want to be a Christian brother. If only I can wear that black gown, which I think is cool. Now, as I stare out into this sea of shining faces, I want you graduates to ask yourselves, which one of you is the best and the brightest? Which one of you are the visionaries? Who will be the captains of industry and of commerce? Who will be the Walmart leader? And which one of you will stand here 25 years from now and give the same speech? One of the moments of clarity that I've had in my life is a moment that I realized that there are no magic potions or secrets or concoctions or golden paths or courses or routes that one could ingest or follow or subscribe to that would automatically lead to success. The sad part is I only learned that lesson last week. If I may suggest to you this, that you may want to do it the way those navigators did it centuries ago. Because out in the open seas, they only used the light of the stars to guide their ships. They looked up, they pointed their rudders, and they took a leap of faith that somehow, some way, they would make it to their destination. And for each of you, eventually in your lives, you will be asked to take that same leap of faith. Your only challenge is to make sure that you've chosen the right star to point your rudder towards, and that the ship, your ship, has the goods to make it there. But everything will start with that leap of faith. So here are some helpful tips as you bound into life's next chapter. Right now, for each of you graduates, your families are extremely proud of you. You can't imagine the sense of relief that they're experiencing. So this would be the most opportune time to ask them for money. Second, for you graduates who go away to university, remember that everyone has a weird roommate. And if you don't have the weird roommate, then you're the weird roommate.